Here's your essential financial news summary for Wednesday, August 6th, 2025. AI optimism continues to drive market excitement. OpenAI is reportedly in talks to raise its valuation to $500 billion through a secondary share sale, potentially becoming the world's most valuable private tech firm, overtaking SpaceX. This comes after a $40 billion fundraising led by SoftBank earlier this year. Microsoft, Alphabet, and Meta have also seen immense gains, with Microsoft surpassing a $4 trillion valuation. Big Tech's aggressive AI investment, over $350 billion planned this year alone, is finally convincing investors, though some analysts remain skeptical about the long-term returns, particularly from generative AI. In policy developments, Donald Trump has announced sweeping new 25% tariffs on Indian imports over India's continued purchase of Russian oil following a diplomatic visit to Moscow by Trump's envoy, Steve Witkoff. This adds to the escalating trade pressure from the U.S., which has also taken a sharply critical stance on European AI regulation and rejected China's calls for global tech governance. Concerns are growing over Berkshire Hathaway, as Warren Buffett's firm has underperformed the S&P 500 by its largest margin in decades. Investors are reportedly wary of leadership succession as Buffett edges toward retirement. In the UK, the abolition of non-dom tax perks has triggered a wave of corporate director departures, with many wealthy executives relocating to the UAE, signaling a shift in global talent hubs. Berkshire and Glencore weren't the only institutions in the spotlight. The Bureau of Labor Statistics in the U.S. has come under fire from Donald Trump, who claims it's manipulating inflation data, shaking investor confidence in official statistics. Additionally, European businesses appear more resilient than expected in the face of Trump-era tariffs. Meanwhile, Apple is ramping up its U.S. investments by an extra $100 billion, aiming to shield itself from future political turbulence, while Novartis is reportedly eyeing a takeover of Avidity Biosciences amid Big Pharma's scramble for new revenue sources as patents expire. On the ESG front, Norway has ordered its $2 trillion sovereign wealth fund to review investments in Israeli firms over concerns related to Israel's operations in Gaza. Italy is reviving a controversial $13 billion plan to build a bridge to Sicily, now tied to national security. Turning to startups, French AI player Mistral is seeking a $10 billion valuation to compete with U.S. and Chinese rivals, while U.S. defense startups like Anduril and Palantir are benefiting from a surge in homeland security funding under Trump's new budget framework. In other corporate news, Tesla saw a steep 60% drop in UK car sales last month, part of a broader demand slowdown in Europe. Meanwhile, Deutsche Bank CEO Christian Sewing is under scrutiny for approving a now controversial $1.5 billion deal under investigation. And finally, in a rare win for public health, the UK has launched the world's first vaccine for gonorrhea, a disease with record infection levels, marking a key milestone in sexual health. This summary is based on reports from the Financial Times, Bloomberg, Reuters, CNBC, and The Guardian.